going over the recruiting process. Hopefully help you guys avoid some of these mistakes. Almost every day I'm asked a different question about the process, and I know it can be very confusing for most people. So hopefully some of these tips will help save you some time, some money, and help you end up targeting schools that really fit what you're looking for. So today what I want to talk about are some mistakes that I see made. In particular, I want to focus today on targeting schools above your baseball athletic ability. Probably one of the top mistakes I see made by most players around the country. So let's talk first, give you a couple of numbers. First, only about just under 2% of high school players are going to go on and play at the Division I level. That's a very, very low number. Yet when I talk to players and I ask them, hey, talk to me about what schools are recruiting you. Talk to me about where the schools that you're targeting right now. And most players give me nothing but Division I schools, one after another. And there's very rarely any Division II schools on their target list, Division III schools. And players really only know about the Division I level. That's part of the problem. The issue with targeting nothing but Division I schools is that the 2% means not very many players are going to play at that level. And if all you're doing is targeting Division I level schools and you're not a Division I type player, you're going to waste a ton of time, a ton of money, a ton of energy, and you're ultimately just going to get frustrated, and you're going to get to the point where the recruiting process is going to be getting very close to the end, and you're not going to have a home. You're not going to have a place to go. You're not going to have a school that really wants you. And then you're going to scramble and probably end up at a place that's probably not the best fit for you, because you've spent all this time and really wasted all this time trying to get to a place where you're not supposed to be, instead of targeting schools that fit you best from an athletic perspective, and really narrowing your search and finding that right fit for you. It's not always about finding the best fit or the top fit. It's about finding the right fit for every player. So let's talk about a few ways that'll help you understand which level fits you best so you can target those schools. I think the first thing is knowledge of each level. Most players only really know about the Division I level. Because they're on TV more, they get more publicity. And so players are able to kind of see what those games look like and have a much better feel for that. But they have no feel, or very little feel, for what the Division II and Division III level looks like. And when I talk to players, I say to them oftentimes, have you checked out a Division II or Division III game before? No, I haven't. Well, then how do you have any idea if you're too good for Division II or III, just right, or maybe not good enough? And so the biggest thing, I think, is to get out and watch games. Don't just go watch Division I games. Yeah, you can go out and watch a Division I game to see what the level of play is like there, but then also make sure that you're going out and looking at some Division II games. Go check out some Division III games so that you have a clear idea. And most times when I tell people to do this, they go watch a Division II or Division III game, and then they come back and they say, wow, Matt, I got to say, I'm really surprised at the level of play at those levels. It's much better than I thought. That's almost the response I get from everybody that goes out and watches games. Players at Division II and Division III are very, very good players, and they're very talented players. So it'll be an eye-opening experience for you to go out and kind of see those games and then step back and say, okay, now where do I feel like I fit? So that's the first tip. I think the second thing to really understand is how the recruiting game kind of works. And also what constitutes genuine interest from a school and what kind of doesn't. I think one of the problems is when a high school player, especially early in his high school career, receives an email or a letter in the mail from a college, they think that they're getting recruited by that college. Now, sometimes that may be true, but I'd say more often than not, when you receive an email or a letter in the mail inviting you to come to their camp, to come to their clinic, that does not mean you're getting recruited. And again, like I said, you could down the road, but more often than not, I would say far less players end up being recruited than actually are recruited. And the problem is, I think most players get these letters, get these emails, and now all of a sudden say, well, I've gotten 15, 20 emails from Division I schools. That has to be where I should be targeting. They're sending me emails. All it really means is that they got your email somewhere. Doesn't really mean that they're recruiting you. And again, I don't want this to sound like, you know, if you get an email, there's no chance you're going to get recruited. You could, but again, more often than not, they got your email through a service, through another camp that you went to, through a reference of some kind, and they're just trying to invite you to their camp. Again, maybe to see you play a little bit more, maybe to see you for the first time, but also colleges need to fill out their camps and clinics. So that could be a reason also. So don't be confused and think, well, I've gotten emails, I've gotten letters from these colleges, they're recruiting me, that's where I'm good enough to play. If you go by that, you're never going to target the right schools. When it comes to understanding what genuine interest is, if you're getting phone calls, if you're getting text messages, if coaches are reaching out to you via those methods, then there's a much better chance that you're getting recruited. And you should really know. If you step back and don't just think, well, it feels really good to say that I'm getting recruited by these schools, and you actually say, let me see, how are they contacting me? What are they saying? Are they just inviting me to camps by sending me emails over and over again? Or are they reaching out to me on the phone? Are they calling me? Are they texting me? Are they trying to get me on campus? That will constitute real, genuine interest, not just some emails and some letters in the mail saying, hey, come to our camp, we'd love to see you.